and the grammar bank on pages 146 and 147. So take a look. Let's get together here. Verbs and prepositions in movement. Just as an example, I wrote here 4 sentences with verbs that represent sports, verbs that are commonly used in sports. And these verbs will be very important for you to understand how we match the verb and the prepositions together. Yeah? We have the verb hit, the verb kick, the verb run, and the verb throw. But look at the examples. In basketball, what do you do in basketball? You have to the ball. In basketball, you throw the ball through a ring with basket. And just some observation here, guys. Pay attention. You have the word throw and you have the word through. Be careful with that. They're really similar, but they represent totally different things. The spelling is quite similar, the pronunciation is different, and the meaning is different as well. So don't confuse. Throw the ball through a ring. Okay? In the second sentence, what do you do in soccer? In soccer, you have to... What do you do with your foot? You kick the ball. You kick the ball into the goal. So again, you have here the verb and the preposition. Yep. In tennis, what do you do in tennis? In tennis, you have to hit the ball. Hit the ball over a net. Net, the thing that separates the court. Yep. And the last one. In an 800-meter race, what do you have to do around the track? You have to run twice around the track. So what do you have here? Look, throw with the preposition through. Then you have kick with the preposition into. We have hit with the preposition over, and we have run with the preposition around. That's the idea. Every time you use a verb that expresses movement and a preposition, you need to use them together. That's the example. To express movement, use a verb of movement. This verb can be go, come, run, walk, drive, etc. And a preposition of movement. Remember last class, we talked about those prepositions. Up, down, away, along, across, under, over. So these prepositions are used connected with the verbs indicating movement. Examples. The man went up the steps and into the church. The idea is the verb is here, went. And you have 2 prepositions, went up and went into the church, because the sequence of movements happens here. And the other example is that he drove out of the garage and along the street. So he drove out of the garage, one preposition, and he drove along the street. It's another preposition using the same verb, drove. Okay? And the third example, I ran over the bridge. So you have here the verb and the preposition, but the same verb ran you use with the preposition across. I ran across the park. But you don't need to repeat the verb. You keep the verb in the beginning of the sentence, but then when you continue, you use the other prepositions to indicate the movement, the sequence of movement. So that's very simple. That's how you express movement in sports or in your life. It doesn't matter. Yep. Let's see one special detail about these prepositions. In or into, out or out of. Because people get confused. When do I use in? When do I use into? So look at this. We use into or out of plus a noun. Example, come into the living room. He went out of the house. So you have the noun, guys. The noun is here, okay? It's different from the other one. If you just don't have a noun, you use in and you use out. Examples, come in, simply come in. Or he went out, he left. You don't need the complement. If you don't have the complement, you use in or out. If you have the complement, you use into, out of. That's why we say, I got into the car. I got in. That's it. Okay, so that's the main difference. Let's put in practice. Number 1, he ran the ocean. Imagine the action. The person is running to the ocean. You saw that the example was already done. You had another example already done. We ran to the ocean and we jumped. When you jump, where do you jump? You jump into the water. Because imagine the situation, you cannot jump out of the water. Not in this context, because you were running to the ocean and you jump into the water. It's a sequence of ideas. Number 2, if you go the bank, think that the bank is a place in the street and that place doesn't move. So if you go past the bank, you see the supermarket on the right. Okay? He walked the street until he got to the park. So think about the street as one only way, and you walk along the street until he got to the park. But just an observation here, couldn't be across the street as well? Why not across the street? If you had that, I'm going to point that to you so it's easier for you to understand. So let's have here. We have the street, okay? When you walk along the street, that's the idea, because there is the park, okay? But let's figure another idea. That's the street, okay? And the park's here. So you cross, you get across the street. It's also possible, isn't it? So depends on the interpretation, depends on the context you have in the sentence. Number 4, the plane flew. The plane flies on the town or the plane flies over the town? Of course, the plane flies over the town because it goes above, okay? It doesn't touch the town. That's why it's over. The dog ran. The dog ran toward me or the dog ran to me. Remember that toward indicates in direction to. So if you are in direction to me, you have to use toward. We biked. We biked over the bridge or we biked out of the bridge. Think about biking out of the bridge. You're gonna fall. You have to bike over the bridge and into the city. I just forgot to point there, guys. So we biked over the bridge and into the city because you bike into. And remember, I told you, you have the noun. As you have the noun, you need to put into. I had forgotten to point out this one for you. Now, number 7 is already done. The racing cars. The racing cars went around the track about 12 times. And the last one, the little boy suddenly ran. Where did he run? He ran across the road because you have the road, but remember the idea, you are crossing the road. That's the correct answer. So it's not difficult. You have to think about the verb and the preposition and make the image, make the figure in your mind so you can point the exact interpretation. Yeah? Don't worry, you don't need to read this text like it is here because it's a little complicated. You have this text as a supporting activity. What I'm going to do now is just point the words that are highlighted because these words will be important for your interpretation of the text. The highlighted words are referees, umpire, disqualified, coach, the race, crashed, scored a goal, soccer club, match, beating, and medals. As you can see, all the words are related to sports. Referee, remember the meaning? Referee is the person who leads the game. Yeah, he has the whistle and he whistles the game. He points the beginning or the end of the game. Yes, é o juiz, é o árbitro. Umpire is the same idea. They are synonyms, okay? Referee and umpire are the same. Disqualified. This word is like Portuguese. It's a true cognate. Desqualificado. That's the meaning. Who is the coach? The coach is the responsible for the team. Technical. Very good. The race. If you have a race, you have the competition, or in this case, a corrida, because race refers to Grand Prix in this case. Crashed. It crashed. Bateu carro no outro. Scored the goal. Scored the goal. Marcou o gol. That's the idea. What's the soccer club? Simple, guys. Soccer is the sport. Club is the club. So it's the club where you play that sport. Soccer. Match. Match can be pitch. Pitch is more British. Match is more American. But both refer to partida. É a partida de futebol. Beating. In the context you have by beating Australia. Derrotando, vencendo a Austrália. E finally, we have medals. Medals, the prize, as medalhas or a trophy or whatever you have. So these words will be important for you to read the text, okay? What are the supporting activities? You have this text about the bad losers where there is a reading activity connected with the text. And also you have an exercise related to prepositions of movement. Yes, guys? Any questions? No problems? So I hope you get everything correct. And if you have any question, contact me. I miss you all, and we'll be talking to each other very soon. See you. Bye-bye.